Did you know there's a gun so extraordinary that it can seemingly freeze bullets mid-air? No, this isn't another sci-fi movie plot or some wild internet myth. This is real, and it all revolves around one of the most fascinating experimental firearm technologies ever created: electromagnetic guns. If you think you know everything about firearms, prepare to be stunned. Let's dive right in. To begin, we need to understand what makes this mind-bending phenomenon possible. The answer lies in an advanced concept known as electromagnetic oscillation. The device in question isn't your conventional firearm, it's an experimental electromagnetic gun. While traditional firearms rely on chemical reactions inside a cartridge to propel a bullet forward, electromagnetic guns are radically different. Instead of gunpowder, they use electromagnetic forces generated by coils to accelerate projectiles to dizzying speeds. And here's where it gets fascinating. Scientists discovered they could manipulate these electromagnetic forces in a way that effectively halts or freezes the projectile, at least temporarily. You might be wondering, how is this even possible? Don't bullets rely on continuous momentum? And you'd be right. Normally, once a bullet exits a barrel, it's inertia that keeps it moving forward. But in an electromagnetic gun, the projectile is constantly affected by controlled and alternating electromagnetic fields. This means engineers can tweak these fields in such a way that the projectile essentially stops in mid-air or slows dramatically while still looking active in flight. Picture this. Instead of a bullet hurtling uncontrollably towards its target, you see it floating there for milliseconds, perhaps even seconds, like a ghost of its former self. It's almost as if the laws of physics have been bent. But here's the catch. This isn't magic, and it's not done with sleight of hand. At its core lies cutting-edge science and technology. Let's go deeper into how exactly this works. Electromagnetic guns use what's called Lorentz force. This is the force experienced by charged particles, like electrons, when they pass through electromagnetic fields. Scientists figured out a way to create opposing forces using electromagnetic coils along the path of the projectile. These opposing forces effectively break the projectile or suspend it mid-flight. It's akin to holding a magnet just close enough to a metal object that it seems to hover without falling. But why would anyone want to freeze a bullet mid-flight? That's a good question. The ability to stop or dramatically slow projectiles has a range of groundbreaking applications, beyond just military or tactical uses. For instance, it opens up unprecedented opportunities for safe firearm testing. Engineers can analyze the aerodynamics and behavior of bullets in motion without the risk of damaging targets, or worse, causing unintended harm. Imagine being able to study how a bullet behaves as if under slow-motion video, but in real life. Moreover, there are potential uses for law enforcement. Imagine officers being equipped with firearms where they could effectively pause or disable a projectile in cases of emergencies or last-second decisions. In certain hostage situations, this technology could literally mean the difference between life and death. Now, as exciting as this sounds, the technology is still in its experimental phase. Scientists and engineers are still grappling with limitations like the immense amount of energy required for these electromagnetic systems. To control and halt a projectile takes an enormous amount of precise tuning and energy, more than what a portable device can currently manage. Another limitation lies in size and design. You see, most experimental electromagnetic systems are massive. They resemble enormous machinery rather than the sleek, handheld firearms we're familiar with. Reducing the equipment to something compact enough to be carried will take further advances in miniaturization. But here's a fascinating tidbit. Experiments with freezing bullets aren't entirely new. In fact, the concept of slowing down or suspending projectiles has existed in different forms for decades. Early prototypes of electromagnetic railguns, cousins to the electromagnetic gun we're talking about today, demonstrated that projectiles could be slowed or stopped inside the barrel if opposing electromagnetic forces were applied. In those early days, scientists thought it was more of a glitch than a feature. Now, It's the centerpiece of entirely new research. Speaking of railguns, they also provide a glimpse into the future potential of this technology. Railguns use electromagnetic principles to propel projectiles at hypersonic speeds without the need for explosives. They're already being tested by military sectors around the world, with the U.S. Navy famously working on systems capable of achieving velocities that traditional firearms could never reach. But freezing a projectile mid-air? That's something railguns have yet to master. So what does all this mean for the future of firearms? It means we're standing on the brink of a revolution. If the technical and energy challenges can be overcome, electromagnetic guns might replace traditional firearms altogether in some contexts. With the ability to control a bullet even after it's fired, the possibilities are as infinite as they are astounding. But let's take a step back for a moment. Imagine explaining this technology to someone just 100 years ago. We've invented a gun, you might say, that doesn't use gunpowder, can send projectiles at speeds faster than sound, and can even make bullets float or freeze mid-air. They'd likely laugh it off as fantasy. Yet, here we are, closer than ever to turning that fantasy into reality. And this is where we face arguably the most fascinating question of all: should such technology be pursued? On one hand, the potential benefits for science, safety, and even humanitarian uses are enormous. Think of non-lethal law enforcement tools or safer ways to study high-speed dynamics. On the other hand, as with any advanced technology, there's also the risk of misuse. A gun that can freeze bullets mid-air could just as easily be used to create chaos as it could to restore order. The ethical questions surrounding technological breakthroughs like this one add another layer of intrigue. Just because we can create a firearm that defies conventional physics doesn't necessarily mean we should. But if history has shown us anything, it's that innovation marches ever forward, regardless of our trepidations. So what do you think? Will electromagnetic guns that can freeze bullets mid-air be the next major leap in firearm technology? Or will the hurdles, both technical and ethical, keep them confined to the realm of experimentation? One thing's for certain: the future of firearms might look nothing like what we imagine today. And there you have it, a gun capable of freezing bullets mid-air. A blend of advanced science, groundbreaking technology, and mind-blowing potential. Share your thoughts below, hit that like button if this blew your mind, and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes where we uncover the most extraordinary facts about firearms imaginable.